Hello, my name is Sage Fox, and this is a brief discussion on spirituality in the context of media, technology, and positive psychology. Spirituality is an integral part of the human experience and, as such, an important consideration in the holistic understanding of the psychology of individuals, communities, and societies. In this presentation, we're going to briefly discuss what spirituality is, its place in the human experience, the impact media and technology have on spirituality, the potential dangers of the misuse of spirituality, and its future in the emerging digital age. Spirituality is the quest for the sacred or the divine within oneself or within the world around us. It's a journey that can give our life meaning, context, hope, or peace. This spiritual journey is not reserved for the elite, but is a birthright of all mankind, and as such, its experiences and rewards are available to all. Spiritual practices vary by culture and belief, but most practices can be viewed as inwardly or outwardly focused. Practices that focus on the development of self, taming the mind, finding inner peace, or stillness, are generally seen as having an inner focus. Examples of these practices would be meditation, contemplation, breath work, energy work, and even mindfulness. These practices and exercises are centered around finding and cultivating the sacred or the divine within oneself. In contrast, prayer, one of the most widely practiced rituals, has more of an outward focus as its aim is to commune with the divine or the sacred as it exists outside oneself. At the risk of sounding heretical, I would consider traditional pagan practices such as witchcraft, voodoo, hoodoo, and other magical schools of thought that seek to find the sacred within nature and the larger world around us within this same classification of outwardly facing spiritual practice. The information age was a boon to those on a path of spiritual discovery, and that, with the internet and the advent of social media, it allowed them unprecedented global access to new thoughts, practices, and communities of like-minded travelers on parallel paths of discovery. The possibilities of interconnectedness and information sharing allowed for the proliferation of ideas that had previously been relegated to secular academic or monastic practitioners. A great example of this is the exponential growth of meditation, mindfulness, and yoga in the West over the last 50 years. Spirituality has found a home in numerous aspects of psychology, from clinical and therapeutic practices to neuroscience and how the brain is altered by meditation and mindfulness, to the treatment of depression, anxiety, and PTSD through the use of mind-altering plants and medicines that had previously been considered the playground of psychonauts and hippies. Even the fields of organizational, industrial, school, and social psychology have all incorporated spirituality into their teachings and practices as it relates to the needs of those they serve. While spirituality has the potential to bring out the best in man, its many paths, practices, and rituals also possess the power to seduce the darker nature of our beings. Plant medicines such as psilocybin, peyote, and ayahuasca, used for thousands of years by indigenous cultures in shamanic rituals and spirit journeys, are now becoming dangerous drugs for those addicted to the escape from reality they provide. Similarly, cults, a refuge for those disenfranchised communities, continue to be a dangerous breeding ground of radical ideology, conspiracy theories, and twisted imitations of practices stolen from beliefs and religions with much more humanistic aspirations. As our understanding of both the world around us and the world within us has grown, we have gained new tools with which to measure health, wellness, and disorder. But too often we are left with more questions than answers when it comes to understanding the fundamental nature of our beings. The experience of humanity is not mired in the mundane. The doorway to the sacred is always within reach and can be opened using the gift of our minds, the power of prayer, movement, community, love, or even the power of plants. Sacred journeys await us. We only need to decide which path we wish to take and how far down the rabbit hole we wish to go. Hello.